After that started up, now we'll go into the live portion. Make sure that that's live. Those subscribers are moving, and I'm super happy about that. That's good to see. Um, and the homies Brute. Oh man, let me let Brute. Um, Let me let them know that. Give me 1 second. I'll get to the chat. Just had to let Brute know that we're gonna be recording today the 2K crossover. Hopefully, all of us are able to get on. Been having some scheduling issues. Let me just get into the city and let them know we're live, and then I'll get to the chat for the homies that are here. All right, now let's get to the chat. Woo, the homies are out. We are out here. What up, Trent? Trend View, what's good, man? Virgo King, what's the word? 2G Slim. The error code's still going on. It's still going on. Ray, you still having the same issue? Let me know if you're still having the same issue. From what I understand, the issue has been resolved. What up, Glocks? Jay, the 2K God in the building. David Bryant, what it is. Lyndon Stevens, no, the band is still there. Oh, interesting. K Ross, man, I'm so pissed. I just got kicked from a game with 1 minute left. So it is still happening. That's K Ross. He just put that. It is still going down. And that's really unfortunate. It must be for some players because it ain't like we didn't have error codes prior to this. What up, Tatted Vet? What's goody? Salute to everybody that's in here, by the way. Red Rizzy, what it is. Dwayne Marion said, I get sold every day. If you're getting sold every day, I highly recommend that you type in !point Discord right into this live stream chat and join our Discord, man. When you join the Discord, try out for the Lunatics. Lunatics should be held tomorrow. Lunatics tryout should be held tomorrow. And you won't have to worry about getting sold no more. You'll be running with a good group of players. And there's well over 100 Lunatics. So you'll be running, and they run every day. Type !point Discord to join. And then the tryouts will happen tomorrow. Beezy, what it is? David Bryant said, get the gang together. King Anthony said, I'm glad I deleted 2K. Hey, I was playing Enshrouded, man. That joy is off the heezy. I'm looking forward to live streaming that here as well. But we're not. What up, Alex Johnson? What's good, man? What it is said, ain't made no videos about good news. Dead. Right. You said it perfectly. What it is? What is I can't make any videos about good news, man. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see good news. Every time I turn around, there's another major issue. Good news was probably PlayStation update getting rid of Zen users, them cheaters who were using Zens, but I don't think PlayStation or 2K fully understand that the good majority of players that purchased cheating devices were leaning towards Titan 2s. And then these Zen nut huggers are like in my videos talking or sending me tweets talking about, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. The Zens are gonna be back. It's like happy that they're going out of their way to to cheat on the game. What up, Justin Mosby? What's good, man? He said the mailman is here. Uh, the counted as a L for me when they kick me out. You see what I'm saying? That was the issue. So like for me, I have a high win percentage on 2K in the rec center, and our L's primarily come from error codes. And ironically, yesterday the servers were having technical difficulties, and it lasted about 7 to 8 hours. But it was kind of weird because folks were still able to get in the game. So naturally, if you logged into the game and you went into the rec center, you got everybody together, you went into the rec center, you didn't experience the error code till the very end of the game. That's when you realize, like, yo, what's going on? There's server issues that keep getting error code. After the first time, everybody loads back up. You go back in, bam, play another game, and at the end, bam, kicks you out again and gives you a L to ruin your record. What a Craig Clark was good, man. No, I haven't. I haven't downloaded it. Irishman. Matter of fact, I added it to my library. I just haven't played it. Uh, we need a new basketball that can't use Zens. I'm glad Tekken 8 dropped because 2K is starting to get on my nerves. Jada 2K got. I used to be like a really good Tekken player way back when. I used to really love Tekken, man. That used to be my joint, Kazuya. Uh, but I haven't played Tekken in years, man. I'm sure it's still good. I saw the reviews for it. Well, I saw like the previews and all that stuff of folks talking about Tekken. The Zen users hacked the 2K servers. It don't seem like too difficult a task, huh? It doesn't seem like it's that difficult a task. 2K, I quit in middle of the game due to my teammates and boardness. Just got on. Oh, okay. F2K, he said. Servers still jacked up from yesterday. Nah, they should be good. Productions by what is it? Produced by Hood Rich. Stony said boycott 2K. Well, we know that that's not going to happen. We know. I don't know if there's. Well, there has been successful boycotts. They really. I just don't think the 2K community got it in them. Like the even leaders or pioneers within the 2K community are unable to get everybody together uh, to consider a boycott. Although I don't believe boycotting is the answer. I don't necessarily believe boycotting is the answer. Uh, but there needs to be a platform where pioneers or leaders, people that the community exalt into a leadership role to represent their views. Maybe if we could come to that, then maybe we could get a sit down at the table with the devs. I don't know what it'll take to make that happen or who would be elected as one of the leaders to represent. Maybe Joe knows, um, to represent the 2K community as a player. And this is a tough point to make because like different leaders play different game modes or different players play different game modes for that matter. So if you're only playing on the comp scene, you may not understand what a casual may like or may need or may want, require, things like that. So it's hard to find that maybe we need a balance, maybe a representative for each game mode type of thing. And then we all have a sit down with the devs. And it's not too far fetched an idea because prior to the release of NBA 2K24, the devs were in Twitter spaces, accepting questions, just hearing the 2K community out. This is why I thought like 2K was going to turn a new leaf. I was thinking that it was just going to be a different year for the player base in regards to 2K because I thought it was going to be connected with the devs throughout the entire year. Unfortunately, they disappeared. They got work to do, is understandable. But when I tell you, when they disappear, they're gone, bro. How do you go from having that much interaction on a daily basis prior to the release to sell the game? And it's unfortunate for them 2K devs because I'm sure they get paid decent, but in comparison to what the higher ups make, it's like pocket change. But it's unfortunate for them because they got to play so many different roles. Uh, Everybody out. It's like all hands on deck. There must be a memo that goes out in 2K that tells them all hands on deck. Everybody gets on social media because everybody that's connected and affiliated with 2K comes out to sell the game. And then shortly thereafter, they up and disappear. And we don't hear from them. We don't hear from them at all. Like, so, Showtime Sonny said, vouch all city as the leader, speak the truth. I don't know if I want that type of smoke because if you get elected as a leader and something goes wrong, the community will turn on you. So I don't know if I want. I don't know if I necessarily. I'm strong enough to handle that per se, but I don't know if I want that type of smoke. It doesn't take much to get me upset to the point of talking fighting words. So I could imagine how the 2K community trying to come in my head because you didn't phrase a certain request the correct way and I'll just spaz out. So I don't know if I'm the right person for that. I like having the freedom to just speak my mind on my terms. What up, OG? What's good, man? No cap in the building. Surprised no one got anything for the inconvenience. A locker code, something. I work all day, 12 hours. Would have liked to play some 2K when I got home. That's Icon No Cap Anthony. I appreciate you sharing that because that's as real as it gets. And if you're a daily 2K player, like if you're somebody who plays this game daily, if you're working 8 to 10 hours and I already know how it works. Yeah, I already know how it goes. You're on the last hour of your workday. You're already considering what you're gonna do when you get home. Maybe pour yourself a glass of wine, lighten something up, and just chill until you gotta mentally prepare to go to sleep and get ready for the next day. So I get it. If you get back home, and I totally understand this. Tell me if you guys ever felt this way, because I know I felt this way in the past, and it may not have been on 2K, but it could have been on any game for that matter. You have your long work day, and then you get home and you're mentally preparing. Some of us have to commute home, things like that. You're mentally preparing to unwind. So you're like, damn, the day is done. It was a hard day. Ain't nothing better than going home and unwinding. Like I said, pouring a glass of wine, maybe light something up and kick back. Uh, and then you go to get on the game, whatever game of your choice, and you find out the joint just ain't working properly. In 2K, in regards to 2K, maybe the servers are down. I know a lot of us end up feeling like, what the F? It's like a rage that kind of you kind of feel inside. What the F, man? All I just want to do is chill. I done gave my whole day to my work. Come on, I'm trying to unwind. And part of that unwinding is not just unwinding from the day, but it's also setting you up to take on what's coming tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? So I know a lot of y'all probably feel like that. Sound off if you do, if you ever felt that way, you get back home and it just feels like your world. And I know this may be exaggerated in a way, but at the moment when you see it and your eyes like get wide open because you're about to punch some uh you just feel like the world is collapsing around you. And I think that's where issues like this with 2K kind of come to the forefront and say, whoa, something got to happen. We paid this amount of money to have a certain experience, so we're not getting indie titles sort of or alpha games that aren't in full development just yet. Like they haven't fully been developed. You don't expect to receive that on a 2K title. But yes, indeed, you do. Babacar said, yep, happened to me. Yeah. Salute and respect to you, Long Beach Joe. What's good, man? Salute to everybody that's in here. Semper in the building. Damn, bro, just joined the stream. What we find out about that BS coach all day. Well, for some people, it's still happening. Um, Next will be equals you can quit and not be banned, but you won't be paid for when they do quit. Yeah, that's a good option. That they tried to play last night, gave up after 3 error codes, and got good night's sleep. There you go. Dimer said, all facts. I honestly needed a break. The randoms have been killing me. Went from gold to bronze. Stop running with randoms, yeah. If you feel you have the aptitude to play 2K at a good level, let me break this down here for y'all. If you feel you have 2K aptitude, and we're not talking about if you're consistently running with randoms, man, I'm telling you, even if you don't know it, you've developed bad habits. If it's your goal to go out there and consistently run with randoms on a daily basis, you're gonna develop bad habits, period. Uh, if you want a more structured experience playing 2K, join our Discord. You want to play with folks that understand the 2-3, they're disciplined on offense, good offensive spacing, uh, teammates that help you out, teammates that dot the open man, things like this. Join our Discord and try out for the All City Lunatics. It'll change your whole experience on 2K if you're tired of that random, messy experience. Come on out. Just type exclamation point Discord. Thank you, OG, for putting it in. I've been good, Rob Plays. Hopefully you good as well. Salute to you, brother. Dex said he's getting the same error code. Happened after 2 rec games. He called it rec. Uh, and won my career, and then I gave up. Can we talk about shooting patch? You've noticed something with shooting? Some people are saying shooting is different. If I missed any of your comments, just copy and paste it until I read it. Don't spam, but just copy and paste it in until I read it. I definitely try to address all the comments. Randoms versus team is such a big difference. It's like you actually playing ball, and that's facts, Andrew Vega. It's facts. It's absolute facts. It'll change your whole outlook on 2K. It's a mess. We play against y'all. We see y'all in the rec center. You guys that are running with randoms, we see y'all often, and it's a mess out there, man. I can't imagine playing like that. I appreciate you guys sharing the Discord link. I realized that I try harder to make the game good. Thank you. Beautiful. This is one of the most honest statements. Let me get back to it. Jury Sabic. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I realized that I try harder to make the game good than 2K. It's been 2 months since I deleted the game, and for me, this is the last 2K. And I could totally vibe with that statement. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've done the same thing. And it reminds me of 2K23, where I would create builds because the game would become stale. So I'd create builds trying to reinvent the wheel and recreate fun. And what would end up happening is I'll spend money on a new build to have a new experience when I get on the game, and that build has its own issues. For instance, like the point guard position has its own issues, or lockdowns have their own issues where you feel like you're getting steals one day and then the next day you can't get a steal for the life of you. The same for centers. You make a center, you're blocking everything into the like that goes into the paint, and then the next day you get on and it's like real sluggish and unresponsive and your player is barely jumping. Every single position on the court has its own issues, and I've the reason why I can speak that is because I play every single position on the court, and I go through these experiences and I try to create new builds to enhance my experience, and I find out that it's my effort trying to make 2K fun. I went through the same exact thing that you mentioned, homie. And there's real talk, y'all. There's absolute real talk. And I think a lot of us do that. We create new builds to have a new experience so you could extend the longevity of the annual cycle. And then you realize there ain't no extending this joint because every single position has the same type of goofy problems. Maybe not exact two from center to point guard, but they have their own set of issues that prove that the mechanics just aren't fully established. Uh, some people are saying the error codes are still alive, Jay Ellie. Uh, I feel you, Born. I feel you, man. My new shooting center played like butt cheeks this morning. That was Semper Reloaded. So you've noticed, has anybody noticed changes with shooting? Tried the Discord and was trying to get a third for Pro Am and the error code killed our vibes. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. It's not only if you join the Discord, if you join our Discord, there's a lot of members. So there's over 30,000 members in our Discord. But if you join and you're going into the city chat, is very similar to running with randoms. So what you want to do if you want to enhance your experience, or you could just meet randoms out there and go in together, that's one option. But if you want to enhance your experience, I recommend trying out for the Lunatics, as these guys got to go through a tryout to showcase their aptitude. And if you get added, you get added into an exclusive group where only people who have made the tryouts are able to communicate with each other. Um, what up, Stony? Yo, whoever made that statement is right on the money. Yeah, yeah, I know the vibes, man. Facts. Salute to the homie who made that because it is so true. Uh, and this is what I mean by like I wish 2K fully appreciated what this community is, how devoted a player base they had, which I believe that the development team, this is where things change. You know, when I fell in love with 2K, marketing was not leading the way in regards to 2K gameplay development. When I was able to fall in love with the experience, it was the beginning stages of marketing and big business taking over gameplay development. You could see it in the dev team. You could see it in their development with things like trivia and dodgeball added, or things like having a wall in a particular iteration. So say like 2K19, you hit legend. In NBA 2K20, your name was immortalized on a wall that you could actually walk up to and see your name on there. It was these little things that created a relationship between the player and 2K. So I fell in love at a time where microtransactions weren't so aggressive and predatory. Uh, and since that time, it feels like I used to be able to get on the game with one player for the entire year, one or two max. Uh, Now that just seems unheard of. Folks are trying to make players for the slightest patch adjustment. And I don't want to fall down that trap. I don't want to fall down it anymore. I've been getting lag this morning too. Damn, ain't that something, Semper? I'll be honest, 2K24 just went downhill because the crazy part, me and my teammates had to go back to, he has to go back to 2K23. That's what Uncle Drew Savage said. Interesting. Folks going back to 2K23 for real. Marcus said, preach my N word. They need to make 2K free if they incorporating battle passes. I think their best bet. When I think back on my experience as well, some of the things that helped me to enjoy 2K was that I know I wasn't spending money. Like I didn't even have to consider it. It wasn't a thought. It felt like the, I'm gonna be honest here. It felt like the product that I paid for was okay. It was like it was worth it. I made the decision. I paid. I bought the base game. It is what it is. You count it as a WL. You pretty much just try to get as much fun as you can out of it. In today's 2K, and I don't know if you guys know this, and maybe a lot of you guys are gonna agree with this. Maybe some would disagree, but I come from a time on 2K where you didn't have to pay for boosts, and there wasn't any like that much of a noticeable difference because the good majority of the community didn't have boosts. We didn't buy boosts. It was a new thing. So when someone got boosts, you'll see them on the court, and it was noticeable that they had boosts, but it was frowned upon by the 2K community. So you didn't really want to get noticed in that way for having boosts. To now, and what I'm saying is everybody still played the game. Everybody was still proven to be elite. The idea of not having boosts didn't limit to a certain extent what you were going to do on the court. So you could still perform at a super high level with no boost. And I think that's the case this year as well. I mean, you can perform, but your limitations are going to be exposed as soon as you run into a player that does have that boost. And everybody damn near has boosts on 2K, so you'll fall behind ASAP. Things just done changed. And because we know that there's a price tag on your gameplay, it kind of, when you're on the fence trying to decide whether you want to get on 2K, that's when you sort of realize like, nah. Lyndon Stevens with a $20 super chat, 1999 super chat, said, appreciate the good work you do. Big fan of 2K, but for the last 3 years, I've not enjoyed the game. Appreciate the good work you do. But you just copy and paste it. Yeah, I appreciate that, Lyndon Stevens. Thank you for the $20 super chat. That's huge support. For anybody else that's in the stream, the way in which you guys could help out tremendously is help us get to 100K. Subscribe today. It's a huge goal for us here. You guys could participate in helping to put that plaque on the wall, the YouTube plaque right on the wall. We're almost there, less than 7,000 away. What the homie said. I feel the same way as Lyndon Stevens. But for me, it's 2K21 to 2K24. And like I mentioned in previous live streams, I don't feel like 2K24 is a bad game. I really don't feel like it's a terrible game. It's just not as up to par as we're supposed to be. But yet their predatory actions from microtransactions and things like that, the way in which they function, gameplay development seems subpar. Wagwan Mars in the building. 2K20 to 24 is copy and paste work with shooting tweaks. And that's another thing that I want to factor in. Yeah. Appreciate you, the homie from Germany. You already know, Stretch Pig, we out here. But it's more so, maybe I come across like I'm for the people. Maybe that's the case because I'm speaking my true to life experience. I'm just a gamer. And because I'm like I play with other people on a daily basis type of thing. I'm just a gamer, and there's not many creators that play the joint every day without like expanding their horizons and maybe going for the 2K League or Comp Pro Am, things like that. I'm just out here trying to play and revisit them old memories that made 2K just such a great experience. And unfortunately, from 2K21 to 2K24, 2K hasn't been able to capture that. And then I'm watching the community evolve from what it was, where everybody supported each other. There was all this hate that you normally see, but it was like back then, it was like, you're going to have that competitive trash talk, but it's still all in all, we make up the 2K community, and folks took pride in that. They took pride in being a part of the 2K community. Now it's different. This is not a judgment on the people, it's a judgment on gameplay development. We had a product that we all shared interest in, and we had common ground to develop in. So that's what we all like supported each other from that perspective. But 2K, in their lack of innovation per se, uh, to keep us immersed like we once were. Because why would you get rid of dodgeball? Why not evolve on dodgeball when you have this gigantic space like that is the city? We had dodgeball in a tiny neighborhood. It was like just a box, 19 and 20. Uh, and we've come to a point where we have a much larger space to expand on events like that, and now it's not there. I feel like Boost is a scam too. Coach All Day said we were talking about what to do for 100K. You should pick a charity and challenge everyone sub to donate $1 to the charity, and that's 100K donation to someone who needs it for minimal cost per person. That's not a bad idea. I like that idea. For me, the tough part will be, and it's just due to my ignorance, pure and simple. But I'm a skeptic in choosing the correct charity. Like for instance, me growing up, as we were growing up, I come from the hood, the projects, and as we were, some of the leaders in our neighborhood will get together. So we would have like toy drives, Christmas drives, clothing drives, and food drives in our neighborhood. And the way in which we did that is we would, because we had a heavy presence in our neighborhood, we could reach out to a lot of people and small business owners, and we would have people coming up with full shopping carts full of food just to donate to us. We'll set up shop in the middle of the projects, and we'll have everybody just come and get a bunch of clothes and get a bunch of food and whatever. But what I'm saying is, I knew that our efforts directly impacted. We got to see the impact of our efforts, and I'm a skeptic when it comes to some of these charities and how they manage the financing that they receive. So that probably just takes a little bit of research, but it's an absolutely great idea. Stoney said 2K was better when a slightly early people. I don't know. Let me make sure I read that. Slightly early is when people relied on the game to work itself out, and now people are in their head have to green everything. I honestly, me personally, I like green or miss. I like it to be green or miss. I like that. I also have come to like the idea of the green animation showcasing after the ball goes in. I didn't like full whites at all. It was too inconsistent. Um, I think in regards to shooting green or miss, in my opinion, it's in a good state right now. What up, Agent Q? The only boost that I think is legit is the Gatorade. Yeah, you see noticeable difference. Let me see what the homie said here. Z Nasty said, I feel like it's about time for Visual Concepts to look out for a new publisher. There's no way the game will get any better if they stick with 2K. It's just pure profit oriented now. And it is. It is. It's noticeable that it's pure profit oriented right now. What up, Dave Boogie? 209 in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. Drop a sub if you can. Take a second if you haven't subscribed. Please subscribe. I'm trying to rally the troops here. I want to get everybody rallied in on our movement to 100K. If you know somebody who hasn't subscribed that may be interested, tell them come out. I can't deny the fact that this may be, what up, Dave Boogie? I can't deny the fact that this may be like 2K24 may be new. Is there anybody who's like this is their first year on the game? Please sound off. If this is your first year on the game, what up, Toonie? What's good, man? Agent Q in the building. Lyndon Stevens says, I will donate food, no money. Yeah. Long Beach Joe just say yes. There's some shady charities out there. Be careful, people. Support the real helping charities. They need it. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thought, and it's right up my alley. I would love to make something like that happen. Make a 2K universe like Call of Duty did, and make the game free with monthly updates. Make money on VC. It feels like we're head. You know what's crazy? Who said that? Bugs in your gal. I don't know if I mispronounced that, but it feels like we're already in that stage, but we're still paying for a base unit game every year. I feel like we're already there. Exactly what he said. Like this is a 2K universe, and I imagine that within the next I would probably say 5 years is about right. We're gonna see some huge changes in gaming, especially sports games like 2K. What we know is it's risky. I know for 2K it's risky to take that leap. It would have been less risky if they would have held on to the veterans. It would have been less risky for them if they would have held on to the player base that catapulted them to the status that they're at right now. But with each passing year, especially since 2K21, they pretty much went away from their core player base and they started reaching casuals. They started like really heavily gearing their efforts toward casuals. And what I mean by that is that it creates a revolving door of players. And when you create a revolving door of players, they don't have the same sentimental ties or connection with your franchise like your previous player base had. So it becomes way more risky for them to take a change because the player base is not connected and the player base could easily turn their back on them. So it's a catch 22. I would love to see what happens. I know there's still a lot of players who are connected to 2K, but it's just not like how it was. Ron said this is his first year. So if it's your first year, not my first year playing 2K, but I skipped 2K23 and can't lie, I'm moving. I'm loving this 2K more than ever. Nice, Machete Man. That's what's up. If you guys are enjoying 2K, please continue to enjoy it, man, because there was a time where I loved 2K. There was a time where and I still enjoy it. It's still there. But it's not the same because the love that I had for it used to extend well past the 3 month mark, well past the 6 month mark. It would be I would get 2K exhausted or 2K wasted by like the last month. And that's when I remember it would be like the last month or the last couple of weeks. And I'm like, damn, I can't wait for the next iteration. So if it's your first 2K and you're enjoying it, so be it. You haven't gotten exhausted of the 2K way. So all these little things that we see that frustrate us in regards to gameplay, someone like me who's been playing 2K for so long, when you see those little things come into the game, for instance, a little thing like being unable, like you guys unable to join your friends to play the game, or it take a half an hour for you guys to get your friends together because it's not loading you into the same part. These are instances of the game that we've experienced for 5 to 6 years now already. So it kind of sours our experience and outlook of 2K when for 6 years they haven't been able to fix the driving force of 2K. The driving force is getting players connected to play together. Uh, So when you see things like that, and then you see the little goofy mechanics in the game that also revisit the game. Maybe 1 year they won't be there, and then the next year they will be there. What I'm getting at here is that the game is like a huge portion of the coding is obviously copy and pasted into the game. Things like animations, they're not redeveloping these animations every single year. These animations have been developed over the last 2 decades, and they just pretty much move them from 1 year to the next. And maybe they develop aesthetic things like a new park, things like that, which is completely unnecessary in my opinion. They're just going down the wrong road, trying to give us glitz and glamour when we didn't even ask for that. People fell in love with 2K because of the mechanics, because when they get on the court, where 2K players spend the good majority of the time is on the court. And what 2K ends up doing is getting rid of things that made the game fun. And I'll give you guys a little example. When we were in the park, whenever you beat an opponent, you was able to go up to, as they're walking off the dots. I don't know if some of the veterans in here will remember this. As the losing team is walking off the court, you guys that won the game were able to run up to them and start spamming emotes to somewhat embarrass them getting off the court. And if you were on the mic at that time, all sorts of trash talk will be happening. Well, 2K has gotten rid of little things like that that just enhance your experience. And sure enough, I watched the park game mode complete. Some of you guys may be playing park, but I have watched the park game mode completely collapse from what it was. It used to be the primary go-to game mode for tons of players. Tons. Park was the wave and they completely collapsed it. Ironically, where they're focusing their energy is on the aesthetic of the parks, and the parks look 1,000 times better than what they used to, but they have a way lower player base. Why did everybody go away from the park? What up, Chosen? What's good? Slits, what it is? Positive vibes. Oh hell yeah, that was fun as hell. The good old days, yeah. Wave them off, yeah. The defense is terrible, period. I'm tired of ice skating around my opponents and tired of going back and forth with my opponent as well. Like I score and my opponent scores because the defense is, well, I'll give you Sean Emilio Jones. If you're fairly new to 2K, trust me, you don't want to know what defense was like not too long ago. If you think you're sliding on 2K24, I think, trust me when I say this, although you may not consider the defense to be good on 2K24, it is light years ahead of where it used to be. This is not sliding in comparison to where you used to slide. The way in which 2K used to, what up, Donnie? The way in which 2K defense, perimeter defense used to function, when you hit left on your analog stick, your player will still be going right 2 more steps while you're holding left. So you would have to like press the opposite direction if he's trying to misdirect you. You have to press the opposite direction and prepare for your player to take another 2 steps in the same direction before it responds to your controller input. It used to be really, really, really bad. And now it's like at least it's way more responsive. And I think point guards could vouch for that. That perimeter defense is way better. It's in a way better place than it used to be. But it still doesn't deny the fact that there still needs to be way more balance in the game. That's why Park is bad. Yeah, I imagine Park is like that. We did try Park, and it's been terrible since September. Stony says, since September, I've been phasing through the map anytime. I lock in a spot, look at my phone, above ground level, hop off the spot, either unless you close app. So you're having issues. You guys are having issues in the park. That's why Park is bad. Maybe Park is still going through those same sliding issues. Because I remember I did play Park earlier this year. I could tell you in the rec center you don't experience that type of sliding. I could say that much. If you do, it's like a one-off, once a month type of thing. All City Tooney said, one thing I did notice after the update yesterday, the lane steals are a bit buffed. We ran Pro-Am yesterday and we were going crazy with lane steals. Interesting. Why would 2K touch 2K? Why do you continue to touch things? And it's these little things. And this is what annoys me about 2K. They may make a minor adjustment and not say anything about the minor adjustment. So the 2K community heavily connected. We get on the game. We notice these changes ASAP. But what happens is the 2K community ends up spreading things like this. So like say Tooney tells me about these lane steals. So let's say tomorrow I drop a video saying that, or I get on the game today and notice the same increase in lane steals with no input from 2K. They don't tell us that they changed anything in regards to lane steals. But what ends up happening is that because the 2K community tries to stay connected, they spread this stuff out. So I make a video tomorrow saying that lane steals are OP. If I noticed it, getting on the game today, I noticed it. Tomorrow I make a video. What ends up happening is that a ton more players make new builds. a ton more players, they end up creating a build to increase that steal just a little bit because lane steals are something now. And then when 2K gives it to us and then pulls it away, it's such a grimy tactic, man. It seems to be so grimy. I hate feeling like we got a whole development team analyzing our gameplay to the point of like they know your microtransactions, so they know if you're inclined to purchase another build, so they make the slightest little adjustment. And I know a lot of us may be naive toward thinking this way, but I wish we understood this. Let's put it in perspective, yeah. Let's put this in perspective real quick. Let's say you're the business owner. You're 2K's business owner. If you can make $1 million off one tiny change, when did you do it? If you could make, we're talking about a slider adjustment to steals. Let's say we increase the probability from 60% in regards to lane steals. We increase the probability right now because you start seeing that the player base is creating more balanced builds, and they're not leaning towards creating a build with a high steal, and they just go to 80 steal or something like that. And they increase steals from 60 to 70%. You know what that means for 2K in regards to the amount of money that they're going to make because people are making new builds to take advantage of the steal update? $1 million easy off of one slider adjustment. Come on. What I'm saying here is that 2K has already noticed that years ago, and they saw that fluctuation in the player base. And something that comes to mind is the 6ix9ine builds that were OP with the Hall of Fame Interceptor a couple years ago. They know from their profit and loss and the analytics that, hey, if we made that adjustment, this is what happened when we made that adjustment. Sales just skyrocketed and we made $5 million. You don't think 2K is going to see that? And you don't think 2K would try and recreate that? Anybody would. 2K has already proven that one of their primary focuses are generating revenue. One of their primary focuses are getting you guys to commit to a microtransaction. They've already shown that. What I'm saying is, I believe because they're so smart and so financially stable and successful, that of course they're going to have teams that are going to see this. They're going to find out what led to a spike in sales and get to the root of that spike and then try and recreate it as any business would. Any business. So this is why for us gamers, we constantly see 2K as unstable. Like, especially for the veterans, we constantly see them as the game ain't stable enough because it's always going through a change. Green or miss was it, especially on free throws. Coach All Day said, for real, people need to remember their business and making money is the goal. Unfortunately, they have monopolized the market, so we either play by their rules or not at all. And that's what ends up happening. We end up choosing to play. So currently, right now, I choose not to play by their rules. So I go and pursue different games. But I think 2K is okay with this because they've already created this revolving door of players that come in, generate a microtransaction, $150. They pay $70 for the game. They come in, they have to make their build if they want to compete online, so they make their build. They pay $150 for the VC to get the 700K, which will max out their build. And then they play the game for a week, 2, and then dip off. When they come back, because there's so many constant changes, people on the game naturally do their research and they say, well, what's the best thing to use right now at this stage in the annual cycle? And they find out that a whole new build is the best thing to do right now. So they come back on after 2-3 weeks or even a month and make another build. These casual players, they know they're casual, so they just want to be able to compete at a decent level. They're grown, they have their money, they choose what to spend their money on. So they say, hey, I want to make a big man now and I want him to dominate. Let me go to YouTube, find out which one is dominating. Okay, let me make another build just like this. Bam. New position, and they didn't have to invest any of their time. New position, new build, microtransaction. So before you know where you're spending 400 to 500 on a game that you barely even play. It makes absolutely zero sense. It's wild. What up, Zidandara in the building? It's really wild what they've created, but I don't see longevity in this type of development process. I don't see, and I'm not naive in the sense that I don't think they could go that, like, I think they could go this route for a good 10 to 20 years, just like this. But longevity is for me is a long time, and I'm saying, well, they don't have it. It's already turning into a revolving door type of player base where the people aren't nearly as connected to the game as they used to be. Because back then, no, but you can't talk bad about 2K. Only we could talk. It's almost like you have that friend that you could kind of talk bad about him to his face, but you won't let nobody else talk bad about him in front of you. It's almost like that type of thing. That's how the community used to be. We could talk bad about it, brother, but if you don't play 2K, you can't say ish. This is our joint. And if you insult 2K, you was insulting us. That's how it used to be. It's no longer like that, B. I agree. All City 2K been doing that for years. Facts, James Williams. It's a money grab. This game's so stressful, bro. I'm over it. Stoney said. 230 in the chat. Please drop a sub if you can. If you just got here and you forgot to subscribe, please drop a sub. You can help us get one step closer to 100K. We are less than 7,000 away. Let's make it happen. We are just cash cows at 2K, and they want us to milk everything out of us. And that's what irks me too, is that if 2K was amazing, I wouldn't hesitate to pay. I wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't hesitate to pay. I'd give openly. Uh, But when you have an experience like what you had yesterday, where the servers are going through technical difficulties, and you go play a game and get an L on your record and error codes left and right, uh, it's not matching up. You know what I'm saying? It's not matching up, and for me, it's taking the player base for granted. He's like, you're finessing us, and then you still have this bootleg stuff happening. It's like Canal Street selling Louis bags. You get what I'm saying? You may finesse in the club on a dark setting. You in a dark setting, you may finesse that someone's into thinking you got a Louis bag, but you got the joint right on Canal Street. If you guys don't know, Canal Street in New York City is like the place where folks sell bootleg type of stuff. And that's how it feels with 2K. It's like it's a bootleg Louis bag. Because as soon as you invest your time, just like if you started wearing that bag every day during the day, somebody gonna point out all its flaws, and that's what's happening with 2K. It's like when you play this joint consistently, you see all the flaws, so you're able to point out all the flaws, and it doesn't feel AAA anymore. I got 2 losses yesterday for the Miracles. Yep. Dandara said he thinks 2K is amazing, bro. Enjoy the game immensely. Don is enjoying the game immensely. And if you guys are enjoying the game immensely, continue to enjoy it. Take my words with a grain of salt. Don't let my words sour your experience. I have years of references to look back on and say, I didn't like that, I didn't like that. And after a while, it becomes taxing. So if you guys got a fresh perspective on 2K, keep that fresh perspective, because maybe your energy could help enlighten me. Because I want to love 2K. Once GTA comes out, 2K start losing way more players. Imagine playing NBA Live now, maybe Live 10, but they would do way better than 2K at everything. The push to be better was brought out when NBA Live became no more. Yeah, but 2K cornered the market, so they're not going to have to experience that for a long time in regards to sports basketball gaming. Anything that comes up, they'll buy out. But I think 2K is well aware that a sports basketball game is not going to be their competition. They know that other games like GTA 6 coming out is going to be their competition. They've catapulted themselves to the very top of gaming, not just sports gaming, but gaming. As a couple years over, they've led the way in sales for gaming in general, not just sports gaming. And that's a huge feat. Um, and I tell you, with all that money that they're getting, it doesn't their gameplay development doesn't translate to what they're receiving. It just doesn't. It ain't like they're developing a whole new game every year. It's not what's happening. A lot of it is copy and pasted over, and I'm not speaking to generalize the whole thing, but things like animations, like I said earlier, they no longer have to motion capture, especially with the pro play thing that they got going on now. They can look at video and actually capture motion from video, old footage of NBA games. So motion capture is no longer a thing. And as far as development, what they are developing is the aesthetic, and that's like your new city, maybe certain events, things like that, or rewards for the seasons. With considering how much money that 2K has, I don't think they're able to justify that being their annual cycle for development. They have to develop a my career storyline. Um, I don't think it justifies it because they have all the resources that any gaming company would ever need. And this is what they come up with? Nah, bro. Nah, I'm not with it, B. I'm just not with it, bro. My expectations for 2K24, I thought 2K24 was going to be an amazing experience, and it very well was an amazing experience upon its release. I loved every second of the game. I loved the learning curve and meeting the learning curve. I was one of the players that was shooting really well in the beginning of the year. Um, and then 2K drops a patch. When 2K development gets involved, they drop a patch and completely ruin it. And that's already happened 2 years in a row for me. 23 was a huge letdown for me, highly disappointed. And the same is happening. Well, not the same significant impact that 2K23 had on me, but when I saw a patch change the game, it reminded me too much of the hurt and disappointment that I received in 2K20. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's all it kind of soured my experience because it was just like, oh, here we go again. I don't know if I'm mentally prepared to handle another letdown like that was 2K23. And I just said enough is enough. I'm like, yo, I can't be continuously let down like this. The game is unstable. How you go from shooting really well to shooting extremely poor, like that season 2 update was terrible. It wasn't until the season 3 update that I was able to shoot again, but I had to spend all those weeks in the lab trying to figure out this shot, and I didn't like it, man. Away from playing the game, I just didn't like it. So it was like an experience that just I'm sorry. I said nah. Because you know it's not you. How do you go shooting extremely poorly in all of season 2 and then get to season 3 and all of a sudden magically you could hit your shots now? The same shots that you were bricking and spent hours practicing. Now in season 3, you can hit all them joints. Well, that's how it was for me at that time. 2K will have fewer people playing in 2025. Oh, I know a lot of people believe that, but I think, like I said, they're marketing to new players every day. All right, I'll give you guys a for instance. When I make my YouTube videos, this live stream is more for people who these live streams be for everybody, but it's more so to connect with the people who are connected on the platform. But when I make my videos every day, I don't make the videos for subscribers. I make the video just to generalize for everybody. And I always have in mind somebody new might be coming onto the channel while I'm creating the video. So as I'm speaking, I speak in that way for the new viewer. And I think 2K is practicing the same formula, but they're getting you guys to purchase it. They're creating a revolving door. It's not my goal to create a revolving door of viewers. My goal is to create an open door for new viewers to come in. I think 2K's goal is to create a revolving door of players. So these new players come in, spend their $700, and they dip back out, and then another new player is coming on. Then 2K is free, so tons more people come back on and spend their $700,000 on the game, and they dip. The gameplay mechanics and the way in which they function and the constant changes will never fare well to a veteran of the series. We'd never accept that because we already seen what greatness was for 2K. So for 2K to continuously change the game throughout one annual cycle is definitely going to deter a lot of the veterans and the new players. They're just not going to feel it in the same way. They'll get on, they see an inconvenience, they dip out. Content wise, All Star Month is always going to hit better. But as far as their initial step towards gameplay, I feel like season 2 and 3 is where they settle in. Crazy how nobody plays starting five in my. Yeah, those are the best modes easily. Yeah, I don't play it either. I don't play it either. I can't front. Damn, it's mad bright in here. It looks like the sun must be coming out. It has been raining. In my opinion, 2K, like I did, Madden, I just stopped buying it. Same here, CeeLo. I went through the same thing with Madden. Since NFL 2K had dropped, I had never bought another Madden game. But I did the same thing. I saw Madden and I was like, yo, this joint is corny. It's the same exact game. WWE 2K24 is Tazo. In my opinion, only 2K18 was worse than 2K24. Not from gameplay, but just the overall package has just been just disappointing. And yeah, like I said, I don't blame y'all for feeling that way. It's a legitimate response to what we're getting. But I believe that new players don't see it the same way. 2K is a casino trying to find new events to keep players coming back. I feel, hey, who said that? Jason Gordon, appreciate your comment. But I feel the same way. I feel like 2K is a slimy casino. And they some of the tactics that I watched 2K take, I'm like, yo, that is so lame from a big company like that. Somebody needs to, it's just so lame. The tactics that they use to get players on, like dropping events on holidays. Like holidays should be something to enjoy. You don't drop a major event on a holiday knowing folks to spend time with their families. And you know, it's just such slimy ways that I see from 2K. Some people may see it differently. Some people may enjoy these events on the holidays, but from a business perspective, 2K knows what it's doing. And I don't like that, man. I just don't like it. Uh, they practice this slimy approach as if they're mattress salesmen. Meanwhile, or car salesmen, and meanwhile they're at the head, like they're leading the. This is the company that's leading the way. So that's what annoys me about 2K. It's like they're still trying to take this slimy approach, like they're on the come up, and I'm like, nah, bro. Yeah, I seen y'all do that to NBA Live. I seen y'all what y'all did to NBA Live. Y'all don't need to do this no more. They ain't nobody even close to y'all. Start leading. And I think their come up in the way in which they came up, they use these practices to come up, and it's almost like that's what they know. Maybe they have the same team or something like that in place, but it's almost like that's what they know, and they don't know any better. Like they only know how to be slimy on the come up, but they truly don't know how to be leaders and innovators per se. He's a mattress salesman. City, they patched the error code problem. For some people, they did, Godson. For some people, they did. Some people are still experiencing error codes. DJ Gas Tray said, at least the casino, they're targeting adults. It facts. So I'm for the homie DJ Gas Tray, 2K is going through a class action lawsuit right now for something they did to somebody's child. They shut down the servers for an older video game, for an older version of 2K, and this particular kid had a bunch of money tied into that game, and he lost all his VC because 2K shut down the servers. So his mom, I guess he voiced his thoughts to his mom, and his mom wasn't playing no games and set up a lawsuit. And I think that's still in process right now because it wasn't too long ago that I reported on that. Somehow I was able to play a full game of rack, but when it comes time to get my VC, now I'm error coded. Same thing in my career. So you're still going through that, GB? That was the issue that was happening yesterday. That was exactly the issue that was going down yesterday, yeah. Did I put this on? Let me make sure. Yeah, I did. Ironically, that was the same issue, so it looks like it's still going. It's still going. You wouldn't think 2K20s would be great, but instead 2K10s are the best games out. I miss dual archetypes. It's crazy that I can't create my 6 two-way slasher for 2K18. That was my top three best build ever made. It could do it all. I can tell you from my experience with the builder over the last couple years, I feel like the builder is amazing. Although in regards to attribute numbers, you can't get where you want it to be at. But in both 2K23 and in 2K24, I've created some great builds that could do exactly what I want, probably more so than I would even expect. And the numbers don't necessarily look like it. In 2K23, I had to build offense. I ended up going heavy on offense and got exactly what I wanted. The same in 2K24, ended up going heavy on offense, limiting defense, play my role on defense, just suitable enough. I could play like the secondary defender up top. Uh, but offense, he's yamming like crazy and he shoots good. And he could dribble and finesse a couple plays. So that's exactly my style right there. And I've been able to make it happen. I really like the builder. And I'm more so hoping that they don't change that. I wouldn't want to go back to archetypes, tell you the truth. It's all in the name of virtual currency. I got error coded 5 times yesterday just trying to play the finals in my career. I didn't realize that it was happening offline, and that's the worst, man. Bam, bam, what up, bam, bam? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the error message means the games played don't count. As it should mean. But what's happening to a lot of players is that they're getting L's for these games. So if you're playing online, you go into the rec center, you play your whole game through. Your homies out there, the whole game through. At the very end is when you get your error code. And from what I understand, a lot of players are getting L's along with the error code. Ironically, what I found the most ironic, yeah, is that normally when folks would receive error codes, normally what would happen? You get back on the game, you load back up, and you receive a ban warning. Ironically, nobody is talking about getting ban warnings all of a sudden. So I was watching a homie Brutal Sims video, and he was saying, "Hey, did 2K remove the ban warning or penalty of getting banned for folks who quit games? So are you able to quit games now with no issue?" Because normally those error codes will get you a ban warning. Give us 2K15 bills. Did 2K fix the game yet? Said Trash. To be determined. I went from gold to bronze because the error codes. The Cronus team causing the servers to crash, trying hard to find a way to fix the cheats. Facts, Jason. That's crazy. Error code in my career offline. That is just crazy. How does that happen? Right now, CeeLo ones. He said CeeLo one says City. What other games you picking up to play? So I'm gonna go live with the other game that I'm playing. I'm playing Enshrouded, and it's super dope. So right now I'm playing Power World and Enshrouded. You guys might want to look into it. These are gonna be huge games, by the way. They're currently in like still testing stages. So I think this is early release for both of them. But both of them are set to be amazing games like staples. So if you want to get on an early access before these things blow, trust and believe both games that I'm saying, they're really gonna blow. Uh, they're already blowing. It ain't like if you guys don't know about it, it's probably because you're in the small bubble of sports gaming. But as soon as you venture out the small bubble of sports gaming, you're gonna see Power World and Enshrouded and what they're doing to the gaming industry. Both are amazing. I've played both. I'm on Enshrouded right now, and I am in love. The closest thing to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom that I have seen, and it's not necessarily like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but it has its own route that it's taking. But it reminds me of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, that vibe. Uh, that's what I'm on. I might stream that later on today. That's why I decided to stream early so that way I could get on that. But I just need to see if we're gonna record the 2K crossover today. So, what up, Dirty Jers? Don't know if this will work for everybody, and I assume others may have tried this, but after 2 error codes, I reset my modem and router and haven't received any since. Interesting. I appreciate that. And that should not happen. I should never have to physically touch something like my modem because of the game that I put or turn on my console. That is just wild to me. Man, as much as I agree with 2K decision makers being greedy slime balls, it's on us too because we keep giving them our money, myself included. The last three 2Ks were supposed to be my last. Yami D Yala, and I appreciate that you shared that because it's absolute facts. I think you can enjoy 2K without spending money. I've done it. I did it in the beginning of the year. It was definitely a change. I enjoyed myself in the beginning of the year. Developed the player all the way to 99, didn't spend nothing on boosts or anything like that, and I had fun, and I was able to get a ton of clips to showcase what he's doing without boosts. So I think that was a good thing. It really is on us. I think it is on us to a certain extent, but that doesn't deny the fact that 2K has created this culture within the 2K community that frowns upon folks who don't spend money on boosts. When we used to frown upon folks who did spend money on boosts, that used to be our culture, and 2K has infiltrated that culture and, put us in a position where we're more inclined and in their predatory ways created more of a penalty for you if you didn't buy boosts. So it's like those tight games, them tough games. You just miss open shots, even though you're wide open. You'll miss them because you don't have boosts. You'll miss them with boosts too, but it's little things like this that are noticeable where it used to not be like that. It's almost like you could perform really good back then with no boost, but um, currently you can't perform at the same level. And I think it has something to do tie with stamina. Your stamina depletes way faster, and you can't perform certain animations without the boost. You won't get convenient or aggressive animations without Gatorades, things like this, or they'll limit the amount of aggression uh, that you had if you don't have greater Gatorade. So um, there's people who do it, but the fact is that 2K created this. They put this into the system and part of their slimy ways that I'm sure they'll never admit to. But veterans of the franchise know what it was and know what it is now. Period. Without the PG glitch on Christmas, though, my team would have been dead. I ain't even gonna hold you. And after the Inferno event, I think they didn't comment or compensate because it was planned. Insane, yeah. That my team. How did 2K ruin? You see what I'm saying? 2K had this money making mode. My team, always a money maker for 2K. And for how does 2K ruin that experience for my team players? I have no idea. Like, how do you? It's so silly to me. Just because they were trying to figure out a new way to get a dollar out of them when they're if you guys think you spend money on your my career game mode, there's no comparison to what these my team players spend. Uh, and 2K managed to turn. They're still going to be my team players, surely, but 2K managed to turn that player base against them as well. It's so wild. Appreciate you, some random black guy. Appreciate you, bro. Some of the best players I know sometimes don't buy boosts unless we are playing real comp. Right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's facts. It's facts. You don't necessarily need. What up, Jay? What's good, man? I used to make mini bills. Now I honestly can't afford to make them like I used to. Yeah. It's very simple. They ruined it. Want even more money. Show me the money. Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts. That's how it feels. That's how it feels. Where we at? We're well over an hour in. Well, on that note, I will be going live a little later on today. Yeah, I'm gonna let me hold off on that before I even fully commit to that because I need to find out if we're gonna record the 2K crossover with Brutal Sim and Jay Z. Depending on what happens there and how long we take, I may go live with the other game. Um, for those that are interested, I'm playing Enshrouded. If you're interested in new games, you may want to come through to the live stream and check that out. Give it a go and see if it's something that's up your alley. Maybe when 2K frustrates you, you would consider playing a different game. I just want to end this by saying, hopefully, you guys know that folks in different, and just take this with a grain of salt, but hear it. Uh, People in different genres of gaming They look at sports gamers like we're getting abused by development. This goes from FIFA, Madden, 2K. Other development companies do not aggressively approach their player base with predatory microtransactions uh, in the same way that sports gaming does, and we're often looked at as naive because we stay in this tiny bubble of sports gaming to get beat up by this developer and then beat up by that developer. Just so you know, it's good to just be aware uh, when you're in these sports games, and you can cautiously approach a microtransaction, that we're just not so willy-nilly quick to to go ahead and make a new build, because there's a system in place to encourage you psychologically to make that microtransaction, and that system is advanced and has been successful for years now. So keep that in mind when you're out there. Just keep that in mind, so that way you don't get finessed. If you make a microtransaction and you feel like it's on you, it's like F everything. I just want to have fun. I don't care if you're trying to finesse me. F it, I'm finesse. Then so be it. But as long as you're aware, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get at. Because there are a lot of other games out there that you can purchase. Like right now, I'm playing Power World. Bust this, y'all. Bust this. I'm playing Power World and Enshrouded. Both of those games were like 20 something dollars, which is less than, for both of those games, which are taking over the gaming industry right now. Both of those games together cost less than what I paid for the base unit sale of 2K. So just keep that in mind, y'all. Salute to y'all. Wishing y'all safe and blessed rest of your afternoon. A good start to your weekend. I will catch up with you guys either on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all.